Hi there! Today we're going to show you how to turn this dollar store children's book into a cute photo book for someone special. To get started, you're going to need the children's book. You can actually get any book you want, but it needs to be cardboard, real stiff cardboard. You'll need both thick cardstock and also some thinner cardstock. And it doesn't have to be two-sided if you don't want it to be. You're going to need, I use Mod Podge for this project, but you can also use Elmer's glue, just anything that'll glue down. You need some sandpaper. You need, you don't have to use this, but I use some Liquitex gloss gel, and I'll tell you what I use it for here in a minute. And you could use some gesso, and I'll show you how I use that. You can also use acrylic paint for the same thing. You need a paintbrush, you need a file, and some ink and a dauber. So let's get started. Okay, so take your book, and depending on the book you have, this book is it has a shiny finish on it, and this is not very conducive to glue. So the first thing you want to do for each of these pages is you want to just sand over it real quick. I sanded it, and then I applied a little bit of gesso just to give it a little roughness to it. You don't have to put the gesso on it, but make sure you sand it real good so that the paper will stick to it, because what you'll find is once the Mod Podge or the glue dries, it'll peel off. So once you do that, wipe off all the extra with a cloth or something. And then you take your glue and just apply a very generous amount of glue onto your page. Like that. Then once you're done with that, you'll want to have taken your paper and tried to cut it exactly the same width and height as the book. You lay that down and go ahead and just put it down like that. And then make sure you get all the glue underneath so it gets even coverage. Once you let that dry, then you'll notice, oops, this isn't dry, so once you let that dry, you'll notice that I have a little bit on the edge. So I'm going to cut that off, and then I'm going to show you the next step. Okay, so once you're done cutting your edges, you'll take a heavy-duty file, and you'll just file off the excess. Now you'll notice it starts to go white. Can you see that? It doesn't matter, because we're going to fix that. So go ahead and take off the excess paper, like that. And then, to get rid of that whiteness that you have, you just take some ink, and you can take any color you want, and you just kind of dab around. And you can go all the way around. You can go, if you want to make it look antiqued, you can put it on your paper too. But by doing that, it gets rid of that white, and it makes it just look a little more grungy or antique-y, if you want to call it that. So now we'll move on to the next step. Okay, so now you've glued your 2 pages on your first page, and if you'll notice, I have a little bit of a seam right here, and it's totally up to you if you want to do anything about that, but if you don't like the look, you have to use a thinner piece of cardstock. So this was a little thicker. This is real flimsy and thin. The reason why you want to do that, and here I'll glue this down so you can see it, is because it has to have some forgiveness when you start to manipulate your book. It has to be manipulatable. So you'll take this piece, and don't worry about getting glue because it'll dry clear. So make sure you get it completely down. And then if you notice, as you start to bend it, it wants to crease and bend, but you slowly, as it dries, you slowly start to manipulate it, and you will be able to bend it back and forth once it dries. But don't close it completely or it will rip. So just kind of play with it until it starts to dry, then bend it a little more. So eventually you're going to be able to bend it completely closed and open it up so that it looks just like this. Okay, so now we finished our book, and as you can see, you have a little bit of a crease there, but you can open it, you can close it, and it stays okay. Like I said, if you close it before it's dry, when you open it back up, it'll rip. So just decorate it however you want it. You can put pictures in it, you can put little sayings in it, however you want to do that. And I decorated the front and the back. One thing I want to show you is this side here, I took this gloss gel, and it's very, very sticky, and it actually created, you can't see between the two papers that I did. This one over here I just glued down, so it's a little unfinished. It's perfectly fine to leave it that way if you want, but if you want a little different look, you can use this gloss gel, or you can use matte gel, whichever you want, to make this a little more finished. So there's your book. You can decorate it however you want and give it to a friend, or just keep it for yourself. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel for the 12 Crafts of Christmas.